येन
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय
नमो विष्णुपादाय
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले
कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
स्वामी इति नामिने
स्वामिनिति नामिने।
नमस्ते सरस्वते देव्ये
नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
विशेषशून्यवादी
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे
पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद।
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद।
We'll start chanting now. Yeah. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे. Yeah. So we'll be starting now discussion on Bhagavad Gita. So today we'll be discussing on the very first verse of Bhagavad Gita, that is Bhagavad Gita 1.1.
Small recap you can give.
Yeah, so yesterday we have discussed, Amal sir has discussed about what is the importance of Bhagavad Gita, how Bhagavad Gita, that verse we have seen, right? How Bhagavad Gita is compared to, just like Arjuna and Krishna. If there are only, one, this is actually the essence of all the scriptures that are there. This is coming in the, what you say, in the Itihasa, that is Mahabharata. Within Mahabharata, this is one of the portion, the setting of the scene, if you see there's a Mahabharata, entire Mahabharata is going on, and it is a what you say entire story that is going on. Within that, there is one important conversation that is happening, especially at the place of Kurukshetra when the war is about to begin. No, when on the one side there are Kauravas, on the one side there are so many Kauravas present, and on the other side there are Pandavas present, and within this war field, now there is a great important discussion that is going to happen between the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and one of his great devotees Arjuna. So that conversation we are going to see this entire Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita is directly spoken by Lord Bhagavat. That's why it is called as Bhagavad Gita, the song which is sung by Lord himself. And also, yesterday we have seen how this Bhagavad Gita is essence of all the scriptures that are present. If there is, we have to say, if there is any book that is highly commentated by many scholarly people, many great devotees, and that is this Bhagavad Gita. And we are so fortunate that we are, in this part, we are taking part in these discussions where that such a great literature, the knowledge of that great literature, we are discussing and learning from that. So we are very fortunate, and also we welcome all of you again, once again, for this session today. So once this one way the setting is there like this on the battlefield of Kurukshetra where there are Kauravas and Pandavas. They're about to start the fight, and at Hastinapur, if you see here, no, Dhritarashtra was there. Who Dhritarashtra, he was a blind person. He cannot see. He's physically blind. He cannot see. He was there in his chambers in Hastinapur along with Sanjaya. And Sanjay is a personality who has been specially empowered by his master, his guru, Shila Vyasdev, that he has one special power that although he's at one place, he will be able to see what is going on at other place. That's why, although they both are sitting at Hastinapur, but still Sanjay was able to see with his vision what is happening at the place of Kurukshetra. So Dhritarashtra knows about this special power of Sanjaya and is asking a question. He's inquiring from Sanjaya. What is that he's inquiring? In the very first verse of Bhagavad Gita, he's inquiring. And in entire Bhagavad Gita, this is the only verse where Dhritarashtra is speaking. And what he's speaking, let's see. Let's reset this first verse of Bhagavad Gita 1.1. Dhritarashtrovacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Mamakaha Pandavasyaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra is asking out of curiosity, out of insecurity in his heart, he is asking Sanjaya, oh Sanjaya, please tell me, Samaveta Yutsavaha. No, Yutsava means for basically for fighting, for having a confrontation. Both the parties, who are those parties? Mamakaha, my sons, Pandavasha means the son of Pandu. They both have assembled. Samaveta. Samaveta means assembled. They both have assembled where at a place called, which is Dharmakshetra, which is called as Kurukshetra. In the place of Kurukshetra, which is also called as Dharmakshetra. Dharmakshetra is called as Dharmakshetra because, it is told that many great sages, great devotees of the Lord go to that place to perform many penances, and that entire land, the bhumi which is present, it is very, dharma here basically, it's like a virtue. We can call it as a virtue in this context. It's a very virtuous place. So that place is referring to as Dharmakshetra. And that place name is called as Kurukshetra. Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, Samaveta Yutsavaha. This both Pandavas and Kauravas, they have assembled there for fighting. And he's asking, oh Sanjaya, then after assembling, what did they do? Kim Akurvita Sanjaya? Oh Sanjaya, what did they do? He's asking like that. Actually, Dhritarashtra, if he's try to analyze what exactly the emotions that are going behind the scenes in his mind, in this particular scenario, Dhritarashtra, because we all know that actually he is physically blind, but actually he's not only physically blind, but he's also dharmically blind. Why is dharmically blind? Because although he's a king who is meant for protection of dharma, is a king is actually his dharma is to protect the what is it, the people in general, to protect dharma, follow dharma and all. But when you see the life of Dhritarashtra, he was allowing his own sons to do all kinds of atrocities against Pandavas. He was wanting, he was into plot when his sons were plotting all evil atrocities against Pandavas. He was supporting them. He never came forward and told, oh Kauravas, oh Duryodhana, this is the wrong thing to do, you should not do. He never did that. He was always supporting on the people who are on the path of adharma. That's why he's not just physically blind, but he's also dharmically blind. And he was not at all wanting that his sons may come to a what is a compromise in this battle. He wanted that this battle should happen and the Pandavas be killed and Kauravas win and they rule the kingdom. That's what he's desiring. He wanted that to happen. But because he's out of, he's saying Dharmakshetra. Why specifically Dharmakshetra is saying? Because he knows that this place is a place of Dharma, which is, there a lot of virtue influence is there. And he also know that there will be a influence of place on the psychology of a person. The suppose of a place, for example, say if you are sitting in an office desk or if you are sitting at a study table, if the just beside your study table or just beside your office bed, suppose office table, you have a bed, assume that, and your office table is completely dirty, how do you generally feel? Like, will you feel very enthusiastic to work? No, right? Generally, we feel very lazy because when will I go to bed and sleep? Like that, we'll feel. Because that place around us will have an influence on the psychology of our mind. That's why, because this place is Dharmakshetra, he's fearful. Maybe my adharmic sons may suddenly may become dharmic sons, and they may come into, they may compromise and they may start, becoming friends with Pandavas, and then they say, okay, no problem, I'll give share of land with you. Like that is fearful. He was not wanting, not at all wanting that to happen. And one very special word which is using here is Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. He's saying that Mamakaha means my sons and sons of Pandu. This is very amazing here. Actually, although both Pandavas and Kauravas belong to same family, Kuru family, but still he is doing a differentiation between his sons and sons of Pandu. Although, because his own brother, elder brother has died, Dhritarashtra's brother, he's supposed to take care of his sons. He's having that responsibility with him. Rather than actually taking care of them, protecting them, he's opposite. It's doing quite opposite thing. He's planning, plotting all the ways to kill them. Oh, it's such a adharmic person. He was Dhritarashtra. He was completely blind to it. And he's doing this differentiation. What is the differentiation? My sons and sons of Pandu. How selfish thoughts he's having. Just imagine the Dhritarashtra. You can contrast this mentality of Dhritarashtra with mentality of Yudhishthir. No, there was one past time in the Mahabharat, previously to this, an episode has happened in Mahabharat. What was that episode? When all these Pandavas were in exile in forest for 12 years, that time, once when they were in forest, all these Kauravas, they came to a lake, which was actually a lake for Gandharvas. Basically, these are citizens of heavenly planets. They have one lake near this place in the forest where these Pandavas were staying. So these Kauravas, they came there just to show off to Pandavas that see how badly you are suffering, but we are enjoying this place so nicely. That's why they're wanting to show that, and they came to that lake and they were enjoying in that lake. All these Kauravas, Duryodhana came, Karna came, many of them came. And this, what do you say, Gandharvas saw that, and they immediately came to fight and fight them, and then make them run away from there. And all the other Kauravas, they ran away from there. But Duryodhana was caught. That time, the sages who were there near the lake, they went and informed Yudhishthir that, this Gandharvas have caught Duryodhana, and Duryodhana is in danger. At that time, at that time, actually, Bhima and Arjuna, they were saying that, oh, good thing has happened, let him die there. Because he has done such an atrocity, he's a very envious person, he's such a evil-hearted person, he should die better. But Yudhishthir was such a expanded consciousness he was having. He was saying, my dear brothers, although among both of us, we may be like, no, they are 100 people and we are 5, but for outside people, we are always 105. We are never 105. You should go and protect them. That's what Yudhishthir was saying. Whereas the Dhritarashtra here, you can see the mentality of Dhritarashtra. He was so narrow-minded. He was so self-conscious. He was always thinking about what I will get and what my sons will get. That's all he was always thinking about. He was never expanding his consciousness beyond I and my immediate brothers. That's what his consciousness is. And all the different problems, fights, wars, battles that happen among various family members, friends, relatives happens because of this reason, that all the people, they think that what I will get in this relationship, in these dealings, when everyone start thinking about what I will get, what I will get, then there will be a lot of conflicts among people. That's what the main reason why there is such a huge war that is going to happen of the Kurukshetra war between Kauravas and Pandavas, because Kauravas are always thinking about what I will get. Whereas the devotees of the Lord, like Yudhishthir Maharaj, they have expanded consciousness. They always think about how I can serve others. They have never this thought that what I will get will never strike their mind. That is how the glorious virtue of selflessness is. And when one is so selfless like this, they actually experience great satisfaction in the heart. Whereas someone who is always thinking about their own self and their own family members can actually not experience so much happiness. They always have some or other conflicts, wars, problems, battles, and all. So that is what this Mamakas and Pandavas Shiva and the mentality of Dhritarashtra is teaching us. Now she will take to you for no, she will explain about the entire setting with a wonderful analogy and deeper lessons that we can learn from this past time. This setting.
Hare Krishna. Till now, we have seen how the scene of the battlefield and how the war has started, and how Dhritarashtra is so curious about what are this, who are all present, what are they doing, and all. Now, when we analyze the scene, then we have to remember that we will come. We have to remember like what is that is going to happen, and in that we can see compare with a small analogy. In our daily lives, where we generally see this. Suppose compare a farming field. In that farming field, if you see a farmer, and then what does he do? What does he does? In a farming field, two things are there. One is the grains that which gives the output, and the other things which are simultaneously there are it is the weeds. What does the farmer does? A farmer will protect the grains by wiping out the weeds. Why does he do? Because the grains will get strength by nourishing them, by removing the unwanted things. So the same thing and the same setup can be compared to the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Here, the farm field is being compared to Kurukshetra war, and the grains here are compared to are the dearest devotees of the Lord, the Pandavas, and the wheat here being compared to the Kauravas. And our farmer is none other than our dear Krishna. And here, this analogy in this first Bhagavad Gita 1.1 clearly shows us that wherever there is a place, it's also called as Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. Wherever there is Dharma, in that place, generally, where the weeds might try to grow, but at the end, only Dharma wins. And uh, this is how the pure consciousness or the pure Dharma always wins, shows in this battlefield. And here, from the following overall, the what lessons we can take is people might gain strength and do all adharmic ways. They might feel like they are growing, but what will happen is it is very short and temporary. At the last or at the final, only Dharma wins. And this is entire episode of Bhagavad Gita, the Kurukshetra war. In the future, you will be seeing how the Dharma, how the entire environment changes, and how the Dharma is playing the role over there. This is what we want to say. And this is famous, like you all know this, Dharma Rakshitaha Rakshitaha. Whenever we always stand by the side of Dharma, Dharma will protect us. We should, though it is difficult, but Dharma will protect us. This is how the Arjuna, the Yudhishthir Maharaj, and all, how they have faced the war of the battle of Kurukshetra, with empowered by Sri Krishna. And here Krishna is compared to as a farmer who gives strength to the Arjuna, Yudhishthir Maharaj, and all by wiping out the Kauravas at the end of the war. Hari Bol. Any doubts?
Now we'll open forum for any questions if you have for discussion. So basically in the second we learned that how if a person, anyone who follows on, who will be on the side of Dharma, they will be always protected. Although we see in today's world, any field you can see, if someone say if does some illegal activities, adharmic activities, they may for short period of time, they may thrive for some time. They apparently look like they are actually maybe they are successful, but in long run they actually don't become successful. They will be always caught because always the dharma wins. One who is on the side of dharma, even though that may be difficult to do, but still he has to do it and he will be protected and he will be a successful person.
Even the other big things, when they're doing, they're growing, they'll have in the heart feel of insecurity happens, doubt, that they know they are doing wrong. That is very clear. Even here, Dhritarashtra is asked, Dhritarashtra is not worrying about, he's not worrying what he know. When somebody goes to the war, what will they generally do? The war will happen. But he's asking, what is the question? He's asking, what is happening over there? He has so much lot of fear and insecurity because in the place of Dharma, the injustice will never win.
Yeah.
This is what we want to share. We should always be in the side of Dharma. Okay. Dear readers, any of you have any doubts? We can
Or any questions?
Questions are always asked on the WhatsApp group.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
You can read this Bhagavad Gita 1.1 in the database.
Yeah, sir, I shared the link on group. There is a very nice purport also for this verse. You can all read the purport.
Contemplate it and you can understand it very well. All these scenes and all.
Sure. Then we can end our session here. Hope you learned something about the beginning of this setting scene of this entire Bhagavad Gita. And we also learned about how if someone is very selfish, he'll be very narrow-minded and he will create a lot of problems in his life. But whereas someone who is very having expanded consciousness of always wanting to serve others, he will actually internally he'll be satisfied and he'll be always serving others. Others also will be happy. And also we have learned how a person who is on the side of dharma, he will always thrive in his life, and someone who is on the side of adharma, He'll, although apparently may look in the beginning that he's thriving or he's being successful, but in a long run, he'll actually not thrive. He will undergo a lot of problems in his life. Thank you everyone for joining today. Hope we could add some value to your time and your life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We would like to see you in the next class, tomorrow's class. And be enthusiastic in hearing the whole Bhagavad Gita. It has transformed my life and many of the lives. And we sincerely request all of you to please continue hearing the class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mhm.
Thank you so much, Lokesh Prabhu, Kavya Mataji, for the wonderful session. We can end the session here.
Yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna.